Good morning, true crime friends. You cannot imagine how badly I need coffee today. Oh, I need coffee today. And I went to bed on time. Okay, look, but I was super tired yesterday. Those of us who joined us last night on the members only feed, I was tired then. I am tired now, but there is a lot going on, a whole lot going on. Okay, so let's start with breaking news in the Alex Murdaugh case. There's not a lot of new news, but there are some very interesting developments. Number one, Miss Becky Hill, the clerk of court, has hired a lawyer. And I was like, okay, Miss Becky, we want to hear your side of the story. You know who she hired? You know who she hired. She hired Justin Bamberg. Honey, I am living for this case right now. Justin Bamberg, Justin, brother, I'm gonna need you to get on my screen with your pretty self down there in South Carolina and your nice waves and tell us Miss Becky's side of the story. So, according to the way it's supposed to work, the clerk of court is supposed to have very little to do with this jury. Normally, the bailiffs do everything, and Miss Becky is like, ask him if they need some more sweet tea. Ask him if they need a bathroom break. That's it. So, are some of these jurors, fabricating and making up stories? Unclear. We gonna find out. Here's the other thing about her book, though. People are like, a book deal. You know what I found out yesterday? Miss Becky did not get a book deal. Miss Becky self-published. Really now? Okay, so she out here on lulu.com. Y'all know Lulu, right? If you want to write a book, go on over to lulu.com. Not a commercial, just facts. You can write yourself any kind of book. Years and years ago, I made a book. I've made cookbooks, whatever. All these, like, put together a little compilation of whatever. Child, anybody can self-publish. So the co-author and Miss Becky got together. Each one of them put in $30,000. Really? So, as it stands, Miss Becky, as far as we know, had not even made her money back yet on this book. So let me see this. She goes out here and she writes a book and she got a lawyer and she was like making sure it was all okay and all the ethics were fine or whatever. And she told her little story. And now that's the wedge that Alex and their lawyers are using to get in there and try and blow up this case. And now they're like, oh, the jurors. Okay. Let's talk about Miss Egg juror first. First and foremost, girl, you was living in anonymity as a juror. Now listen, if wrongdoing has happened, wrongdoing needs to be exposed. Did wrongdoing happen? That is the real question. Here's the thing. Jim and Dick are over there. I'm like, look over here, look over there. Don't look at the actual facts of this case. If you do a little digging back, and if you go back to March 3rd, that is when this whole situation went down. March 3rd, 2023, child. Gone over to your long crime, wherever you get your news from, and watch what actually happened in court on that day. What actually happened in court on that day is that the judge calls out the egg juror. He's like, yeah, remember last night, you okay? Which to me, I'm hearing she was probably like hysterical crying, the ugly cry, tears, snot, the whole thing. She was in chambers and she was quite upset because she had met with Alex's lawyers, the prosecution, the judge, and her. And they were like, girl, we got to ask you some questions. So they asked her a bunch of questions. And apparently, somebody thought her ex-husband had put something on Facebook. Okay, turns out that was not her ex-husband. And she was afraid of the ex-husband. Now, this was not in court. This was from outside research. She was afraid of the ex-husband and had a restraining order against him, hadn't seen the man in 10 years. Okay, fine. But the dude who made some raggedy post on Facebook had the same name as her ex-husband, but was not her ex-husband. And they were able to verify that on the day. Okay, great. That's not her ex-husband. The other little way that this lady went all the way to the left, she was out in the community talking about the case. She was dining out on this situation. She's like, I am on the Murdaugh jury and blah, blah, blah. She spoke to 3 coworkers, 3. And one of those little coworkers that she was running her mouth to recorded her. So people in the community was like, hello, whatever 911 is for the court. I don't know what you call when you have a court emergency. Miss Becky, the egg juror over there, she out here running her mouth. And I got the proof. Here's the recording. All the receipts you need. So they was like, okay, let's play this. Play. How bad is the situation when your friends are recording you and turning you in? So this is what I'm wondering, right? If there's this kind of misconduct, how come a bunch of other people in the community have not come forward? This is clearly a teensy little community. Everybody knows everybody. So I want to hear some corroboration. Where's the other people? seems like a whole lot of people will be coming forward like, you know what else was going on? You know what else what I heard? I'm like, okay. So that egg juror was not kicked off due to her husband. She was kicked off to her running mouth and the recordings made by her friends. And the judge called her friends in and was like, what exactly did she say? This one heifer came with receipts. She got the whole recording, everything, what the rest of y'all have to say. And there was a lot of waffling back and forth. And it was made clear there with the judge that she had spoken about the case. She had spoken improperly. She had expressed opinions about the evidence. That's what was on the tape. Okay. And so they were like, okay, it's not clear exactly what you said or how you said it, but the fact that you talked it all meant you are no longer qualified to be a juror. And they went on and escorted her out, and they went on with the rest of the trial. And at the time, Dick and Jim agreed to it, and the prosecution agreed to it, and everybody went on about their business. Here's the other thing that we found out yesterday, and that is that Judge Newman made an order. When they were out at Moselle, everybody was to be absolutely silent. Total silence. Do you think them judges and bailiffs and everybody else were like, I know Judge Newman said everybody has to be silent, but I'm just going to take it upon myself to just talk and do whatever I want to do. Something tells me that did not happen. And if it did happen, something tells me other people be like, shh, you see what you heard what the judge said. What you trying to, what? So, Dick and Jim, y'all's story is starting to fall apart. Now, I understand they don't care about this story. They just trying to muddy the waters and make a big fuss. Jim Griffin, come here, boo-boo. Remember when in your closing statements, one of the first things that you said was Alex Murdaugh is a liar and he lies because he's a lying liar and that's all he does. And if I had known that he had lied about being at the kennels, I might not be sitting at that table. So now you cool being in with the liar? And I understand that this is not Alex Murdaugh's lie. This is somebody else's lie, or this is somebody else's story that requires further investigation. And that further investigation should absolutely happen. And I am perched. I'm perched. I'm here. I'm watching everything. And look, tragic news, friends. I have been forced against my will to subscribe to FITSNews. It pains me greatly to give Will folks one thin dime of my money. You know I'm in a codependent relationship with my money. We're not trying to break up. Every now and then I have to break up with some of it. Do I have to pay my mortgage? Yes, I do. I got to make some car payments, some insurance payments. These kids need food, all of that. I will break up with my money for that gladly. But to give Will folks and his 65,000 kids some of my money, no, thank you. You know why? Here's the thing. Will folks got the tea. Will, over there at the FITSNews, he has all of the tea. But the thing that annoys me about young Mr. Folks is that Will loves himself. Oh, that boy loves himself. Oh, he thinks he's pretty. He thinks he's smart. He thinks everybody loves him as much as he loves him. Will, you are annoying. I will tell you to your face, I find you very annoying and very arrogant. However, you got the tea. Now look. Sometimes if you want to get the information, you have to go to who has the information. And them folks over there at FITSNews have the information. So instead of thinking of it as me giving $8 to Will folks, and yes, it is only $8. $8 is not a lot of money. I cannot even buy my favorite Starbucks for $8. However, instead of me thinking of it as me giving money to Will folks, I am thinking of it as me giving my money to professional journalist Jen Woods and that delightful Callie Lyons and that young little fetus boy who's over there on the FITSNews behind the camera, Dylan something, I forget. Dylan Nolan? What's your name, Dylan? Something like that. That boy is young. I got shoes older than him. But anyway, so I have subscribed to Jen Wood News. And I have been reading her stories, and look, they got a whole Murdaugh section. Look, now I'm turning into a commercial for that news channel. Anyway, I feel like they the same as me. I mean, yeah, they cover politics and stuff, but those folks over there at Genwood News, they just out here to get all the inside scoop. And you know I love me some inside scoop. I'm living for the inside scoop. So look, over there on Genwood News, that's what I'm gonna call it, because I don't know what FITS stands for. It makes no sense for me. It took me forever to realize it was not FITZ. That title doesn't make sense to me. Maybe it makes sense if you live down there in the low country. Good for y'all. Why is it all capitalized? What does it stand for? Now, I have done a deep dive on these people. They have a whole Murdaugh section, and they talk about the new Murdaugh movie that's coming out, and the actor that has been hired to portray Alex. His name escapes me right now, but if you Google who is playing Alex Murdaugh in the movie, because you know there is a movie. And I'm going to be like, okay, I've watched all the documentaries. Now I would like to see the dramatization of every single thing. And if you recall, during the course of the trial, I believe we cast the movie. Did we say Bill Pullman? Bill Pullman! That's who's playing Alex Murdaugh in the movie. I forget who I had cast as, Wilford Brimley, obviously, for Dick Harpootlian, because come on now. We cast the whole thing. I don't even remember who we put in what roles. But, okay, fine. There's a movie coming out over on Genwood News. They have all the documentation and they have all the everything. They got the full Paul video. I saw little pictures of Cash the puppy. Where's Cash at now? We need to... I wish they would do, now that I'm a subscribed member, can I make demands, requests? I would like to see a feature specifically on Bubba the dog. Where is Tappy Toes right now? What happened to Sassy? What happened to all the other dogs? Is the dog Maggie? Is she still out here in these streets? I need to know every single thing. I want to know can I write a column? The pets of the Murdaugh saga, because really that's what I care about. I mean, yes, the people have passed away, and that is very sad. Yes, Buster is trying to sort out his life, and all these news stations are over there with their very long lenses peeking in his windows, which is terrible, except for then I click on all of the pictures and I read all of the articles and I want to know all of everything. So probably I'm part of the problem. Okay, what you want from me? I am only human. Also, I would like to see a long feature on Justin Bamberg with a centerfold. Do y'all do centerfolds? I don't. Do you do? Are centerfolds still a thing? Because when I was a kid, you would get a magazine, Tiger Beat, whatever, and you would open it up, and in the center would be like Michael Jackson or your favorite artist, and then you could take it out and make that a poster and put it on your wall. I'm gonna need one of those for Mr. Justin Bamberg. The legal hotties of the low country. I don't know what you call it. Be creative. Y'all creative. Callie Lyons, Genwood, can y'all get on that? Ooh, I got the takeover spirit. I should probably be editing their newspaper because I have ideas. Okay, but look, anyway. So that's what's going on in the Murdaugh situation. But we have other fish to fry this morning, friends. Shirley Strawberry, honey. The jail phone calls for the Shirley Strawberry situation are out, and they are over there on YouTube on jail phone calls from jail. Honey, that girl's over there doing the Lord's work. I will link. If you look at my subscriptions, I am absolutely subscribed to her channel because every time she puts something out, I'm like, what else you got, girl? That looks good. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. She has everybody's jail phone calls. And this sis is out here. She has done a 5-part series on all of the Shirley Strawberry jail phone calls. And I have listened to every part of the 5-part series several times. My only regret is that I can only click like one time, because if I clicked like every time that I saw it again and listened to it again, I've listened to it slowed down. I've listened to it sped up. I have listened to it. This is what we have gathered from the Shirley Strawberry situation. Number one, in the beginning, when this all first happened, Shirley was like, justice for Ernesto, my husband. I cannot believe they are saying that, the terrible things. They're saying, I don't know my husband. Well, I know my husband, and blah, 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 blah. She was team Ernesto all the way, and she was convinced that Ernesto's business partner had thrown him under the bus. And I was like, okay. If you love and trust your husband, you like, I'm sure he didn't do it. Meanwhile, all the friends and stuff in her circle were like, girl. But she was like, y'all don't know my marriage. You don't know what's happening in my marriage. I was like, okay, girl, stand up and protect your marriage. Then as time goes on, you see her become more and more disillusioned as the phone calls go on. And I'm like, what happened to that? So you hear them on the phone. At first, she's like, this is terrible. Everybody is against you. And then she's like, this is very difficult. My name has never been associated with anything like this. Then they started taking her stuff. You know what to turn a wife? Go and take her stuff. So, and not just like they snuck in the middle of the night and they was like, psst, girl, can we have some of your stuff? No. They, Miss Shirley went over to get her hair did, right? So she's like at the salon, like kikiing and talking to the people about whatever and everything. And then the cops roll up outside. She's like, What's going on out there? She goes to leave, and they have her blocked in. And she was like, why do the police officers here in Roswell, Georgia, have me blocked in? They're like, hey, Shirley girl, we here to seize your car. And she's like, wait, what now? You gonna do what? And they were like, we got this nice flatbed here, and we're gonna take your car away. And she's like, what does this have to do with me? And they were like, oh, we're gonna use this as restitution for the victims. I was like, oh, dang. So now Shirley just walking? She out here with a bus pass? Shirley hitchhiking? How you get around when your man... And she's made it very clear that she ain't got that Steve Harvey money. Now listen, Shirley been in entertainment for 40 years. And lo, these 40 years, Lord, I hope she has a pension. Is she in the union? Do radio people have a union? Because Shirley, girl, you about to be in a rough situation. So according to Shirley, they don't have a house anymore. They don't have cars. And then they came and took her wedding ring. How much you gonna have to lose, Miss Shirley? This is what I need to understand. Shirley has lost her material possessions, her home, the thing that she drives, access to her daughter and her grandchildren. And then shortly after all of that, she unfollowed what's his name, Ernesto, on all his social media. Okay. So she found out he was forging her signature. He used her daughter's signature. He used her grandchildren's signature. God only knows what he did with pets, because his lawyer was out here like he can't be around pets either. And then Shirley was forced to tell Steve. And I was like, ooh, okay, now I'm leaning in. Does FITSNews have a Shirley Strawberry section? And so she was like, yeah, she's talking to Ernesto on the phone. Yeah, my coworkers was telling me I should probably go ahead and tell Steve. And so I finally went and broke it down. And Ernesto was like, yeah. And then he commented that Shirley and Steve had not seen each other in 3 years. Really? Y'all close like that, but y'all ain't seen each other? Oh, okay. That's interesting. And so she said, I told Steve, and he was kind and he was understanding. And he said, okay, you're going to have to get to the bottom of the situation and then move on with your life. Oh. So Ernesto was like, so he's saying I'm guilty? And I was like, Ernesto, because it's pretty clear to me that you are, based on the limited evidence I have seen. I'm not a jury. I'm not a court of law. But based on what I've seen in the court of public opinion, boo-boo, you did all of the things, all of them. And so Shirley's like, that's not what he said. And so Steve was like, do you need anything? AKA, you need some money? She's like, no, I'm good for right now. And Ernesto was like, okay. Oh, like, boo-boo, you not getting none of that Steve Harvey money, because Steve and them got long money. They got houses all over, including a house in Dubai. And then Shirley went to visit the house in Dubai. And I was like, okay. And so she was like, the house is gorgeous. And Marjorie has a spa in the house, and she has this and she has that. And she has all these cryogenic machines and all these things. And Steve has a big, gorgeous gym and this and that. And Ernesto was like, wow, okay, cool. And they were like, was she there? And I was like, who is she? Child, they start talking about Marjorie. And I was like, what y'all got to say about Lady Heron? Now, you know, before she married Steve Harvey, listen, who's listening to this? Before she married Steve Harvey, word on the street was that Miss Marjorie was married to a drug kingpin. And when they first got together 12, 15 years ago, everybody was like, wait, Steve Harvey married Lady Heron? And I was like, first of all, that's how we pronounce heroin now? Okay, maybe I'm like polite and stuff. I guess I would have to do heroin with my pinkies out, because I don't know about this other hood pronunciation, but I'm here for it. And they were like, oh yeah, she was known as Lady Heron. I was like, okay, Lady Heron, go on. Apparently, the lady keeps Mr. Harvey on a very short leash, and she does not have these people in her house. These people meaning his co-workers of 20, 30 years, however long they've been together. And also, she treats Shirley Strawberry and all of them like they the help. Oh, okay. I thought y'all was close like family. Guess not. So Shirley was like, yeah, Steve showed us the whole house. But you know Marjorie wasn't there, because he wouldn't have been showing us all of that if she was around. You know she keeps him on a short leash? Really? And now word on the street is that the former Mrs. Lady Heron got her little side piece. Now, listen, I have not done a deep dive on that part of it. I am willing to. Listen, as soon as I free up some of my Murdaugh time, then I'm gonna have to go do a deep dive on the Shirley on the Steve Harvey, Marjorie Harvey situation. rumor has it that she is having an inappropriate relationship with one of her bodyguards, allegedly, for entertainment purposes only, according to the internet. Now, look, I'm not saying where there's smoke, there's fire. I'm not saying that any of this is true. I'm just saying this is what I heard. But shh, this is just between me and you. Just me and you, internet. But I'm going to have to do a deeper dive on that, because nobody has come out with a statement to say, don't be ridiculous, we are madly in love, blah, blah, blah. I'm looking at her and I'm like, first of all, she is the queen of all gold diggers, and I am not mad about it. Get your bag, boo-boo. I hope she don't have a prenup either. But you know, Steve not giving her up. Steve is like, he is sprung on that woman. And well, he should be. You're supposed to be sprung on your wife. You're supposed to be madly in love with your partner. And I hope that they are. Also, if she got a little side dish, well, that is her business and not mine. But will I dig in her business? I absolutely will. You know I will. Trust and believe, friends. I'm about to do a deep dive on Miss Marjorie Harvey. And I hope that I find out that this is all terrible false rumors. I will report back either way, no matter what I find out, because y'all know I'm nosy and I want to know all of the tea. Okay, look, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I got to get out of here. I got to get to the gym. I got to be nosy in other people's business. This gossip doesn't dig itself up. I got to go do some digging. And God help me, I might even have to click on that dang on FITSNews. Wait. On Genwood News. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go do a little bit more research on Genwood News, because I just can't bring myself to think of it as the news station of that man. Okay, y'all have a great, safe day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.